Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is me, Chris Pajak, and that man there, Josh Williams. For the deep dive, we're discussing this time around whether Liverpool still need a pass master, Josh.
Yeah, been an ongoing question, I suppose, what Liverpool are going to do in January. Do Liverpool still need Zubimendi and stuff like that? And I think the Villa game, obviously we were there, weren't we, going mad? I think that game, for me, captured an element of, yeah, we do. I don't know about you. I mean, you...
Don't really remember the game, to be honest with you, Josh.
Say, yeah, Chris had a few by the time we went, understatements. What time did you get in?
I got home about 2:45.
Did you? Okay. I mean, it was a good win, to be fair, wasn't it?
Where did you get off to?
Well, I went down...
you were going to take a call.
I know, I went downstairs to take the call. My mate was there. So I met up with my mate, spoke to my mate for about 10 minutes. And then when I turned around to go back towards you, I couldn't be asked for the queue. Couldn't be asked getting back upstairs, so I just thought, he's not even going to notice that I've left anyway, so I just thought, I'll just leave. But yeah, I was planning to genuinely take a call, but my mate was right there. But anyway, today's show.
We could have called up before the show.
Yeah, I know. Today's show. So Villa came with a bit of a different plan than we expected, I think, and a bit of a different plan than Slots expected as well. And I suppose I can visualise that with this viz, so we can get up the viz now. That is pretty much how Aston Villa play for the entire game.
Like us?
Yeah, but I'm not specifically talking about the formation here, to be fair. I'm more talking about the behaviour.
So sitting off?
Yeah, kind of sitting off. So in the seconds before this screenshot, Van Dijk's walking with the ball, puts the studs on it, but no one moves. Ollie Watkins doesn't chase him. Morgan Rogers doesn't chase him. And it was very, very passive and depicted shades of Nottingham Forest earlier in the season for me. And after the game, Slot touched on it. So he said they were not as aggressive as we thought. They just waited. We were patient, although sometimes I felt as though we were not patient enough because a few times they threatened us. Stems from counterattacks when we lost the ball in midfield. So Villa's approach basically was keep your shape, remain compact, don't fall for the whole bait in the press thing, make them pass the ball through us, and when they attempt to do that, then we jump, we regain the ball. Liverpool did this early days on the clock, didn't we, with Henderson and that, and their teams were terrified to play through Liverpool's midfield because we had Henderson in there, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, proper dogs in there. Villa didn't have those players necessarily, but they encouraged Liverpool to attempt to break lines against them. Pounced. And I think in the first 15 minutes created a few decent chances, didn't they? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think, it does stem, doesn't it, from that sort of four at the back, nice compact sort of way of defending. It's either 4-4-2 or it's 4...
I think Villa was a bit more 4-4-2, weren't it? For me, a little bit more like...
Hang on, the next one there. Oh, the goalie.
Yeah. The goalie, yeah.
That's it. And it makes it incredibly difficult to maybe get the ball into this area of the field here, doesn't it? You got the ball with a centre half, and these two can quite easy shuffle over like that normally, isn't it? So this guy's obviously trying to block off over there a little bit, and then if the ball goes over there, they sort of shuffle over here and keep blocking this man.
To be fair as well, we did eventually. I'm not sure we came with it. I think we did come with it, but we moved towards more of a 4-3-3 with the ball rather than our customary midfield 2 with a number 10 playing. And I think that was to overload Villa's midfield 2. So we've got a 3 against a 2 there in the middle of the park. So that made a fair bit of sense. But we had Gravenberch on his own as the lone 6, if you want. And I'm just not sure he has the skills to open up a block like that. And Slot in that comment there says we were patient, although sometimes I felt as though we were still not patient enough. A traditional 6, above anything else, is patient. A proper 6 is patient, mate. Really doesn't force the issue at all. Just plays the right passes to get the likes of Tielemans and Onana into the wrong spots, and then at that point, bang, you punch the ball through them.
Whereas Gravenberch, is it fair to say, has a tendency to want the press and then use the player's pass to go past them?
Yeah, and I think Gravenberch is a bit more like Where are we here? So I think Gravenberch is a bit more inclined to sit almost inside what they're doing and welcome a pass from Van Dijk like that.
Because then he can use his body.
Then he can receive the ball. He's great on the half turn, and it still works. And it worked at times against Villa and stuff. But I just think looking at our midfielders, you've got Jones, Elliott, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, Endo. I don't think we have the midfielder who, against a block like this, a really passive block that just literally sits there like that and doesn't move. We don't have the midfielder to look at that and think, right, this is me. This is my game now. I'll be the metronome, the conductor, and it is kind of like pulling strings. You pull strings here and there, and
that can be with 5-yard passes.
Yeah, it can be with literally backwards lateral passes and things like that. But gradually, you pull the strings. You use the patience that Slot has touched on, and then once pulling the strings to a certain point, you get to a point where there's a gap there, and then you go right through it like that. And I think Gravenberch's been brilliant, but in this game, I think we could have done with Zubimendi here and Gravenberch as an 8, receiving the passes from the 6 almost. Obviously, we don't have Zubimendi. But looking ahead to January and things, I think there's a void still there, even despite Gravenberch being amazing. Gravenberch would still get plenty of minutes, by the way. But I think we could do with seeing an addition of a passing 6, where Gravenberch then gets minutes as a 6 sometimes and gets minutes as a McAllister sometimes. Up here, you've got Elliott, Szoboszlai and Jones. Jones can also play here. You know, a little bit of rotation there, but as of right now, we only really have Gravenberch as a 6, and he's not a passing 6.
Well, Endo as well, but...
Well, and Endo,
same point, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Endo's doing a job. Pretty much, seeing games out when we need them and things like that, but the passing 6, I don't really think we have, and we're probably going to have more games moving forward where, like Forest and like Villa, they just kind of sit. Like, if you think of the Villa game, we scored 2, but both of them are from their set pieces. So if that doesn't happen, potentially we don't score. But, you can't rule that out because we didn't. If you think of what we created, there wasn't a great deal in open play up the top of my head, really, was there?
There was a few, but they were all counterattacks. You think of the Darwin Núñez chance that he fluffs, counterattack. Probably the Darwin Núñez header from Andy Robertson's left-footed cross was probably an open play one.
Was that the from front to back?
I can't remember. I seem to remember more counterattacks than anything else.
There was a move that was brilliant. It incorporated about 6 or 7 players. It was from front to back, exactly how Slot would want it, and it resulted in Andy Robertson doing a cutback at the byline. Didn't end up going in. But that was kind of... I mean, I might be wrong, but that was the only one I can really remember, to be fair. And I just think it was the kind of game that if you're looking to get even better, and if you're looking at January as how can we really almost consolidate the title here? It's by getting in another midfielder, ideally one who sits outside the block, behind the ball, looks into it, a bit like Trent, but a bit more patient, and a bit more know-how in terms of, I'll play this pass because it'll move him slightly, and then once he moves slightly, I can play it through there. That sort of thing.
When I'm fed it back. And people will always, and I use this guy as an example quite often, and people may raise their eyebrows at it, but Jorginho last season for Arsenal was perfect for that for me. Yeah,
he's literally the exact type of player I'm talking about, really. Zubimendi, Rodri, Busquets, Pirlo. There's not a lot of them in terms of the popular players out there.